Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Obed Anyamonga Media. Here we listen, but we don't judge. We give information raw as it is, and we analyze that information. So yesterday there was this great chepsaita run that was organized by patron Farouk Bet, and there were a lot of dignitaries that attended that function. But the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, never attended that function. He instead attended a function that was conducted in the coastal region for East Africa members of parliament who are holding some games there. And at that event, the president rallied East African members of parliament to support the bid of Raila Odinga AU chairmanship position. Ladies and gentlemen, in this analysis, I want to give you reasons why it's very crucial or very important for William Samoei Ruto that Raila Odinga must win the AU chairmanship position. Otherwise, bila hiyo 2027 is KWISHA for him. But before I do that, if you're watching for the first time, take a second to subscribe to this channel. Here is where you'll find political analysis and political events that are happening in the country. So, straight to it, the reason number one is if Raila fails to win the African Union chairmanship position, it's very clear that Raila Odinga might turn quickly and decide to run for the 2027 presidency, which as per now many people are perceiving that he won't run. And if you've watched it very closely, President William Samoei Ruto government and UDA members impeached Rigathi Gachagua, and that happening is made the Mount Kenya that gave William Samoei Ruto 49 point, almost 50% of the votes he garnered in the 2022 general elections to defect, and this was about 3.5 million votes. And if those votes are not there, then William Samoei Ruto right now depends on the votes of Raila Odinga, and that's why he has been making inroads to Raila Odinga strongholds. So without the Mount Kenya region and with the Raila running for presidency, then there is no way you can win an election even if you do any calculations. Because the coastal regions will have gone, the Nyanza region will have gone, very difficult to get maximum votes from Western Kenya, the Mount Kenya region gone, then where will the votes came from? So that's why it's very, very important that Raila Odinga wins the EU chairmanship position so that William Samoei Ruto can successfully inherit the Raila Odinga strongholds. If he does inherit those strongholds, then he is a worthy competitor towards any coalitions that will be formed to contest for that presidential election. Remember that Raila Odinga was defeated by a margin of only 200,000 votes. Even if he has become unpopular and lost, let's say 50%, that's for an example, he still comes with 3 million votes across the country. That's the minimum Raila Odinga can give somebody if he decides to support a candidate. So if Raila Odinga decides to support William Samoei Ruto, then he is going to come with a good number of 3 million votes. That's the worst case scenario. 3 million votes. Then the same candidate, let's say William Samoei Ruto, is coming with his 2 million votes from the Rift Valley. Then he's at 5 million votes. That one alone makes him a very worthy competitor to enter in that presidential election and do other calculations that will help him try to clinch that presidency. So that's why that's the reason number one why William Samoei Ruto must ensure that Raila Odinga wins the EU chairmanship position so that he inherit successfully the strongholds of Raila Odinga. And the other day we saw William Samoei Ruto tested waters in Mount Kenya region, and that forms my reason number 2, that the Mount Kenya region have totally rejected William Samoei Ruto, and it's now clear that he cannot get a significant percentage of votes from the Mount Kenya region. There was that aspect of trying to divide the Mount Kenya region into two, that's the central and the eastern. It never worked. The president, and you saw the other day where former President Uhuru Kenyatta also attended that function of the bishop in Embu, and Rigathi Gachagua attended, where he never even sat in the front VIP section, but instead opted to sit with the people somewhere. And they tested the waters and realized that even the Mount Kenya East region, President William Samoei Ruto is not yet popular as they intended. And those people cheered Rigathi Gachagua so much when his name was mentioned. And that was an indication enough that the votes that President William Samoei Ruto can get from that region are not significantly enough. And so now that it's clear that the Mount Kenya region has totally rejected him and is not very popular as he was in the 2022 general election, the only thing he has to opt to is to opt to other regions that can accept him. And with the formation of the broad-based government, we have seen William Samoei Ruto make inroads to the Raila Odinga strongholds, given them position. He went to the western region, gave Oparanya Kakamega, former Kakamega governor, a ministerial position. He went to the coastal region, picked Hassan, gave him a ministerial position. Those are key people who will help him get some votes. A person like Hassan from the coastal region stands and tells his people, this is the line, rest assured that a good percentage of people are going to follow his say. A person like Paranya in western region has a huge following. He has been governor for 2 times. So those are key indicators of people who will decide where the votes of those regions are going. And William Samoei Ruto, day in, day out, is trying to reach to these people and is visiting those regions to ensure that he consolidates enough support. That is the reason number 2, due to the factor that the Mount Kenya region is no longer dependable on its bid to win presidency in the 2027 general election. Number 3, why William Samoei Ruto must ensure that Raila Odinga wins the AU chairmanship position is that the Raila Amolo Odinga supporters will feel betrayed if Raila Odinga loses the AU chairman position, and even if he doesn't run, they might decide not to vote out in good numbers in his favor. Even if Raila comes out and tells them, so we lost, but let's support President William Samoei Ruto, those people will be discouraged and they may feel betrayed, and they may not support him as effectively as they could have supported him if Raila won the AU chairmanship position. Remember that regions like Lake Nyanza, that's Luo Nyanza, I say that they never vote in good numbers for their own candidate Raila Odinga. They never voted in huge number. You cannot compare the voting capacity of Luo Nyanza to the voting capacity of Mount Kenya region. The mountain votes almost a very huge percentage as compared to the percentage of voting in the Luo Nyanza. And that one is an indicator that if they cannot vote for their candidate effectively, how about a different person coming from a different region who is seeking their support? And on top of that, you demoralize them by failing to clinch victory for Raila Odinga. Then William Samoei Ruto will not get a good percentage from that Raila Odinga strongholds. The last reason is that unlike other regions of this country, like the central or the Mount Kenya regions, the Raila Odinga strong supporters are diehards of Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga supporters are people who, if Raila told them today, we go left, they go left. If you told them they go right, they do go right. Unlike the Mount Kenya region where we saw Uhuru Kenyatta trying to convince his own people in the 2022 general elections to vote for Raila Odinga, but those people refused and opted for William Samoei Ruto. Remember that Uhuru Kenyatta was their president, their son, and their kingpin, but they never listened to him because they had their views. That is a different case when you come to Raila Odinga strong supporters, because you cannot. They don't have a different. They are likely don't have a different thought. So if Raila Odinga loses AU position, and even if he remains silent until the last minute, let's say 1 month to election, and Raila Odinga tells them, "Okay, I'm running for presidency." Trust me, those people, those supporters will turn at a clock or hour, and they will support Raila Odinga, or whoever candidate Raila Odinga will want supported. And that is the point that has made Raila Odinga politically strong for a very, very long period. He has very good loyal supporters, people who listen to him, and people who he directs within a very short time. During the second round of voting of the 2017 general election, Raila Odinga asked his supporters not to vote. And you could see that they never voted at all. So it's a certain group of supporters that really trust on him and really takes his word serious. So as much as President William Samoei Ruto is making inroads with the Raila Odinga strongholds, it's also key that he cannot win their souls like he won the souls of the Mount Kenya regions, to an extent that even if somebody else tries to change their opinion, they won't change. For the Raila Odinga strongholds, if Raila Odinga comes out and says, "Hey guys, these are the reasons I have," and Raila Odinga never gives a lot of reason to his supporters, and we have decided as ODM party and as this coalition that we are going to support, let's say for example, at that time, Raila Odinga opts to support Fred Matiang'i. We are going to support our colleague here, Fred Matiang'i. Our Kisi people have been very loyal to us and they have been very good. Trust me, the people or the supporters and the Luo Nyanza will support for that candidate. If he says we are going to support for Kalonzo has been my deputy for 2, it's time for us to give an hand. Trust me, that will be the direction of that support base. And I want to finish this analysis by saying that is the core reason why Raila Odinga is the kingmaker of the 2027 general election. At this time, as we're speaking, he is the one man who will decide who becomes president. If he says William Samoei Ruto, President Tosha, then, my friends, people don't like President William Samoei Ruto and a lot of issues in the country, but trust me, William Samoei Ruto will win that election. Because he's going to pick a president, a deputy running mate from Western region. That makes him get a good number of Western votes. Raila Odinga, Larry is his support in the Luo Nyanza, is going to get Luo Nyanza. Then he goes to his own backyard, Rift Valley, and tells his people, "Hey, things never worked very well for us in the 5 years. Please add me 5 years and we'll see how things will work through." And those people will listen to him. This is our son. We know how politics in Kenya goes. This is our son. Things were not very good, but we don't have another person to support. We're not going to support a candidate from Central because our son never performed very well. Then you'll have the Rift Valley. That's the Kalenjin nation. You'll have Luo Nyanza region. Trust Luo Nyanza will support for him effective. Raila supports him. If he picks the running mate from let's say Western region, he takes Wetangula's running mate, or he takes a different candidate, anybody from Western region. You'll be having the support of Mudavadi, you'll be having the support of Wetangula, you'll be having the support of Paranya and other key people from the region, the likes of Kotu Secretary General Francis Atwoli, and that will give him a good support base in the Western region. He has a support base in the Luo Nyanza region. He has a support base in the Kalenjin region. He's making inroads to the coastal region. We saw just one rally, and the people of coastal region were listening to him, and they're trying to figure him. Hassan goes to those regions, the governor of Kilifi, and they stand there and tell their people, oh, let's support this guy, give him another chance. William Samoei Ruto will win that presidency, and as a lot of people don't expect. But if Raila Odinga decides that, okay, due to his own reasons, that I'm not going to support this guy, our deal is done, let me support a different candidate. Let's say we have Kalonzo at that time, we have Matiang'i from his different coalition, Kalonzo and Gachagua from their different coalition. We have the likes of Gen Z, Akina Moral and the group forming another coalition, and we have William Samoei Ruto in the combination, and Raila Odinga decides, okay, I'm not going to support because of I want to remain relevant, and this is my last impact in the Kenyan politics. Okay, let me support our friends from Kisii. Let me support Matiang'i with the deputy president from maybe Central Region. I've seen pictures of Ndidi Nyoro. And trust me, those Luo, the Luo Lake regions, support base, the coastal regions, the likes of Hassan Joho will change at Raila's word, and they will rally their support behind that candidate, and that candidate will be very popular, and he will win that election. That's why the moment Raila Odinga remains the key man to determine the 2027 general election, due to the fact that the Kenya Kwanza coalition has lost the Central region, and it will be very difficult. The people of Central region, once they are done with you, even if you try to confuse them otherwise, it's very difficult. Like Uhuru Kenyatta tried to convince them towards Raila Odinga, they rejected. And even if you try to convince them otherwise to support Ruto, it will be very, very difficult. And that's why Ruto's option, biggest option, is Raila Odinga. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just but only my opinion. You can tell me what you think in the comment section. Is Raila the key man, and should Ruto ensure that Raila wins the AU chairmanship position, or if he fails to ensure that Raila wins the AU chairman position, it will be a done deal for Raila, a done deal for him in terms of winning presidency for 2027 general election. That's only but my thoughts, and if you're watching here for the first time, remember to take a second to subscribe to this channel. If politics is something you like, here is where you'll be finding updates and political events that are happening in the country. And I finish by the proverb of the day that says that in politics there are no permanent friends, but only permanent interest. No permanent friends, but only permanent interest. That's why you can see one time Raila Odinga and Ruto, very different, opposing each other as a two presidential candidate. The other day, due to interest, they have formed the broad-based government, and Uhuru Kenyatta is now silent. Interest in politics, we work with interest. Adus.